Hello everyone, it's Amy, and I am just here to show you how I made some mica glazes. And I have to thank Ilene McInnes and the frugal crafter Lindsay for this kind of combination of things. I was watching Ilene make some sprays, and she made sprays with the Wilton's food coloring. And so I picked some of this up at Walmart. I think this 4-pack was like $3.95 or something. So about $1 a piece for the colorings. And they come in little gel, they're gel, and they come in these little containers. And then I was watching Lindsay, the frugal crafter, make a wax glaze, and she used the Future floor polish. And it's Pledge, it used to be Future, and I got this at Menards, and I think this was like $7, so it's not super cheap, but there's so much in there that you can make a ton with it, or maybe share it with someone. So, or maybe you have it, in your house because you have to wax your floors. That's even better. But the ink that she was using to color her mica finish was something I don't have. So I remembered I remembered Ilene's video and decided to pick up those Wilton's food coloring. And when I got home, I thought, well, what is the difference between the Wilton's and the plain old food coloring that I have? So I wound up making one of each in all the different colors, because once I started, I had 2 reds and I had 2 blues and I had 2 yellows. I had to make 2 of everything else. So, but there is actually really a difference, and I'm glad that Ilene told us about the Wilton's, because they are much brighter. When you look at the Wilton's, this really bright blue is the Wilton's, and the McCormick's that I have, which is just the plain, is this lighter blue. And also, it kind of, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but it kind of bleeds a little bit around the edge when it dries. So, but it has such a really nice sparkle when you put the little mica powders in there. And the Wilton's definitely always turned out brighter. So we have the red Wilton's here, and then the McCormick's, and then the yellow with the Wilton's and the McCormick's. And now with the yellow, I used a bronze mica powder. With the red, I used gold mica powder. And with the blue, I used Snow White mica powder. And I really liked the Snow White because it gave you that sparkle without taking away from the color. So then when I made the purple, the orange, and the green, I made those all with the Snow White mica powder also. So now the purples, these colors had to be hand mixed. So, obviously they're going to be kind of different colors anyways, but still the Wilton's turned out brighter in all of the different colors that I made. So I'm going to show you really quick how I did this, because I have some of the Wilton's left in brown, and I decided I wanted to make some brown. So I got these little containers at the dollar store. They come in a package of 6 like this, and they really do seal pretty good. I wouldn't let them lay on their side, but they really do have a really good snap top seal. And then what I did was I just used 1/8 of a teaspoon of the Wilton's food coloring. Oh, now I have to figure out how to get this one opened. I haven't opened this one yet. Oh, come on. The others opened up just poof because I wasn't on video. And the only thing is you have to remember that this stuff really does stain. So, and then I just used about 1/8 of a teaspoon of the color. And just put that in there. You want to make sure you shut these, because if they spill, you're going to have a mess, because they really do dye. They dye anything that they touch. Okay, and just wipe that off there. And then I put in some Future floor polish, just about 3/4 of the way up, so that there's still room to mix without splashing it all over the place. So just do that. And then you do have to mix this really good. It kind of like turns into little balls in the bottom. It kind of separates or whatever. So with the darker colors, you have to remember to really, really, really mix it With the lighter colors, you can see the pieces still floating around. But you don't want to have like a big blob still sitting on the bottom and not having the right true color that you're making. I decided that I would make 2 of these. I'm going to make one with a gold mica powder, and I'm going to make one with the bronze mica powder. I should have just done that right away while I did the first one. But since I have 2 of every other color, and I don't want to mix a brown out of my McCormick's, I decided I would do 2 browns with 2 different micas. I suppose since I'm not making any more colors, I can just leave that. Ooh, I got it on the outside of the jar. Not good. And of course I closed my polish. There we go. And this makes a really nice glaze. You know, there's just times where I've got something that I've done, and I actually have some of the dendritic, however you say that, prints that Shannon Green? I think it's Shannon. It's Shannon or Sharon. Oh, well, she showed us how to do the dendritic printing, and I have some of those that I had done on white cardstock, and so this glaze works really nice to go over top of that, and give it a little shine, and give the, I did it on white cardstock, so it's giving it color. Now for my mica powders, I got these for Christmas, and I started looking up stuff people were doing with the mica powders, because I got the Pearl X, this big set, and it was on sale for $15 at a craft outlet store that we have here. So I got this for Christmas, and I just wanted to find out what other people were doing with the mica powders, because I love them, but sometimes I don't know what to do with them. So, but my original mica powders that I've always had were just the little Dollar Tree LA colors, and this is just mica powder. So, and what I did was I just put in, it's probably a little less than 1/4 teaspoon. It's called just a pinch on the little measuring spoon, so I can't tell you exactly what it is, but it's more than 1/8, probably less than 1/4. And it looks like I am about out of that one. Okay, so I'm going to put that in one. And then we'll see how these look with the micas in them. And then I've got a gold one here. And with these, the way to get them out, to get them open, is just kind of drill a hole in the bottom. And then just use something to pop that bottom off, because in the top it has a really tiny hole with a brush. You'll never, I mean, I suppose you could get it out that way, but it would take you forever to get any amount of mica powder out of there. If you just wanted to brush some on a project, you could use the little brush, which when you're done, these tops just, the bottoms actually, just snap right back on. So, of course now I'm not going to be able to show you. Well, I'm not going to take the time, but they do snap back on. So then you have to pull them back off again when you want to use them the next time. So if you wanted to just use a little bit, you could turn it over and use the brush still. So now we're just going to mix in the copper. And it takes a little bit to get them mixed in, but I don't think I know how to fast forward my thing. I suppose I could try. So you'll have to just sit and watch me, because we want to get the true effect. I don't want to rush it and not get it mixed in well, and then not have it give a good effect. Brush that one off, or wipe this off. and do the one with the gold. Oh, I think this one with the gold is going to be gorgeous. Okay. I've got some, well, I had some white cardstock here. We'll just use the back of this. Okay, so we've got some cardstock. Just a little stir stick. And I always, ooh, look at how pretty that is. I always make sure I mix it up right before I use it because you want to make sure that the mica powder is mixed in. So there we go. Look at that, beautiful with the gold. That's just gorgeous. Look at that sparkle. Oh, I love it. And I'm going to wipe my brush off. And mix this one back up. And then this is the one with the bronze. And even the mica powder kind of changes the coloring. This one's a little lighter with the gold, and then the one with the bronze is just a little darker. Now, the Future Polish says that it takes about 10 minutes to dry. So, you know, you just let them sit to dry. You could probably dry them with a heat gun. But once they're dry, now I did this one and I forgot to stir it very well, so the mica is not showing up as well. But when they're dry, you don't get any mica powder that comes off of there. It sticks because of that floor polish, because of the wax. That mica powder is stuck right in there. And so it's not going to come out once it's dry. It's going to be stuck to your project, which is really nice, because that's part of the problem. I've tried putting mica powder on top of things before, and then I have to find a way to seal it. So, but just make sure with these that you just seal them good, make sure that they give a good snap there. And then I thought that I would just really quick show you the purple that I did. Get this off of here. Oh, of course that mica powder makes a mess sticking to this mat. And I'm going to use the Wiltons, and I'm just going to shake it up, because the Wiltons is a much brighter, prettier color, so I think I'll use that. Although, let's see with the purples. The Wiltons was darker just because of the way I mixed that one. But let's do that anyways. So this is the Wiltons purple, and I have Snow White mica powder in here. And again, that Snow White mica powder was just the LA Colors eyeshadow. So if you can see, and I got those at the Dollar Tree. And I've seen them at like Dollar General before, so you can get those in at different places, and they're only $1. So, but here's the dendritic printing that I did. But the thing that I like about it is it just really, you know, it colors that background, and yet it shows through. I really like the way that this turns out. And I just paint it on there, let it dry. If I'm in a hurry, I did dry the green one with a heat gun a little bit, and I don't know if that will make a difference because the floor polish is a wax. And I haven't tried, but I thought about trying to buff it. Also, after it's all completely dry, give it a buff and see if that makes it even shine more. But so here's the Wiltons purple on top of the dendritic printing that I had done. And so I think this just turns out really beautiful, and I love a wash because you can just use it to cover so many things, and yet, you know, you can still see what you had underneath. So I really appreciate it. My New Year's resolution this year is to try and get some more crafting done. I've been making stencils after watching a whole bunch of different stencil videos, so I've been cutting stencils, which I also got a stencil cutter for Christmas. and